Okay, like we talked about in the last video, Back to the Future Part 2 has its flaws. And I heard 3 was even worse than 2, so it took me 2 months after I fell in love with the original to actually watch 3. And I regret that because it was actually really good. However, like we talked about in the last video, in order to understand Part 3, you need to have seen Parts 1 and 2 first. Marty does give a quick recap of what's already happened at the start of 3, but he's talking so fast, and even if you can understand him, it's hard to actually get what he's saying, so it's better to just watch the first 2 movies. But first, I'll give a quick little explanation. After Marty returns to the present in Part 1, Doc travels to the future and sees that Marty's son and daughter are going to get involved in a crime. So he returns to 1985 to get Marty and Jennifer and brings them to October 21st, 2015. While they were in the future, Biff, the main antagonist of the trilogy, gets his hands on a book that tells the results of every sporting event from 1950 to 2000. So he finds the DeLorean, gets in it, goes back in time, gives his past self the book, and returns to 2015. This messes up the 1985 that Marty and Doc know, so they have to travel back to November 12th, 1955 to restore the timeline. And after Marty and Doc complete their mission, a bolt of lightning hits the DeLorean while Doc is in it and sends him back to 1885. With the help of 1955 Doc, Marty goes to 1885 to save Doc, as he is going to get shot that Monday. So, now you have a little bit of context, and I'm going to share my thoughts about the movie now. I'll begin with the fact that in this movie, Doc finds love. That's really cute and all, but he messes up the timeline in the process, as he meets his love by saving her from falling off a ravine, which she was supposed to go off of. I wish there would have been actual consequences for that, but I mean, come on. They're so cute together. And the other thing is, Doc ultimately decides to stay in the past with Clara. Why aren't there any consequences for that? We later find out that he turned the train that Marty uses to accelerate the DeLorean to 88 miles per hour into a time machine and has been exploring the history of time with Clara, his wife, and his 2 sons, Jules and Vern. Again, there are so many things wrong with that. Number 1, Doc is clearly now against time travel because he himself learned how dangerous it is. So why would he want his original time machine destroyed and build another? Second, how is Doc, Clara, Jules, and Vern's time traveling not messing up the timeline? Even if he is being careful, the consequences of time travel could be disastrous. Doc says so himself. Anyway, enough of my little rant there. All in all, it's a really good movie. I love the fact it's a Western. And I love how Biff isn't the villain of this movie. It's his great-grandfather, Buford Tannen. It switches it up, but somehow still feels very familiar. Buford Tannen is still played by Thomas Wilson, so the mannerisms are still very similar to the Biff we all know and love. And I love how in this movie we get to meet Marty's great-great-grandparents. But Maggie McFly is played by Leah Thompson, who played Lorraine, Marty's mom. But this is supposed to be George's side of the family. Odd. Anyway, that is going to do it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, please do not forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Thank you so much for watching. You are amazing. And I will see you in the next video.